We are back from the Silver Creek Studios for another episode of Get a Load of This. I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
Hey, coming at you real hard is Joe.
Big Joe.
So, we're going to have another kind of fun episode about something that's kind of seasonal. It's coming up here.
Coming up, guys.
Barbecue grilling.
Hopefully coming up soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we need to get out of this.
Either that or we're going to have a story about how to build an ark.
Yeah,
One or the other, guys.
Some shitty weather. But we thought we'd kind of discuss maybe the different methods of grilling that we've done over the years, what we grew up doing, what we do now. Yeah, just talking barbecue grilling.
Yeah. Everybody's got their ways, and
Right.
some people are more passionate about it than others.
Sure.
Some people take it, way more seriously than I think any of us do. But we all like our cooked meats.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And I think I've upped my game over the past year a little bit, but I'm by no means competition ready.
No,
I think
I'm
I
not.
grill some pretty good shit though. But I've eaten. This is going to come out wrong. I was eating Joe's meat, but
Is it Friday already?
I have dined on Joe's cooking before, and he cooks a pretty good bratwurst, and he knows how to make a fire. So,
talking about the fire, we'll start. I'm a charcoal man,
Mm-hmm.
tried and true. It'll never change. It'll always be that way.
So did
you
you
have a
grow
whole
up that
process.
way? Did
Yeah, I
your
always grew
family
up that
do
way. but-
charcoal? Yep.
Yeah, but I have a process now. When I was coming up in it, you just learn. You try. You
you watch
and
your
error.
dad, and you
Watch
watch
my
your
dad,
buddies.
but you never. It's like anything else, hands on. You got to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, how I do it now, and I'm going to change it this year because I'm switching off of chemical. But I will stack my briquettes.
Wait a minute. What? Chemical?
no lighter fluid.
I'm gonna try to get a lighter fluid.
Yep.
So I'll stack my briquettes 1-2 high. Not so much 1-2 all the way, but like staggered 1-2. Never any higher.
Would
than
you do
that.
a pyramid?
No pyramid. Spread out 1-2 high. They're not all 1-2 high. It's just kind of and a lot of air in between the two. Douse the shit out of it, like I'm sending it to hell. Light it, let it cook off on the grill, everything. And I'll let it go for about 45 minutes. I used to let it go for 3 beers.
That's what you told me. Yeah.
I've always cooked off beers. I didn't know what time was. Time increments was beers, but now I drink Jack, so it's one full Jack.
So not a blue moon, I'm guessing.
Not a blue moon. A blue moon, full puke, back out,
Okay.
and I'm ready. So I do that, and then I can start putting my meat on. But I never have a flare up. It's always a good, consistent heat. I always get good control, everything. I'm never having to douse the flames or anything like that. But now I'm thinking I'd like to get away from the chemical.
Yeah.
I'd like to get away from the lighter fluid. Those chimneys are really neat. You throw the charcoal in, and so that's where I'm at now. So help me out, fellas.
Yeah. No, I mean that's. I watched a cooking show, one of those competition barbecue shows, and that's where I first got the. I never realized how much I was tasting lighter fluid, but I watched this competition griller, a lady, and she had borrowed green eggs from somebody because she didn't want to ship all her crap to Texas or wherever the fuck they were.
Wow.
And so she borrowed these 3 green eggs that were like new, and she cooked with them. And whenever she was judged, all the judges said, "I taste lighter fluid," and none of these competition grillers use lighter fluid.
No, none of them.
And she's like, "But I didn't use it." And then so they checked on these loaner grills, and apparently someone had before her, and they were like new, but the 1 or 2 times they were used before, someone had used lighter fluid, and it stayed in that ceramic or whatever the hell those green eggs are made out of.
But I'm not that balls deep in it.
We have a discerning palate for Bud Light, but I can't taste lighter fluid. But I would rather get that. I mean, I do taste it every once in a while. You'll taste a little bit of.
I don't like to though. That's why I let my shit burn off.
Right.
It's 3 beers, 1 Jack, 45 minutes. Honestly, I don't care.
But I honestly like the smell of a freshly lit barbecue grill with lighter fluid. I enjoy the smell, but I also like the smell of gas.
But see, I think we grew up on that when we were kids.
Yeah.
Nobody had a chimney or whatever.
No.
Right? That's how you lit your grill, was with
I did have one
half
buddy
a bottle of lighter
whose
fluid.
dad had the most gangster grill that I've ever seen, that I had seen at the time whenever I was a kid, and he had an electric charcoal lighter. It wasn't an electric grill or anything like that, but it was just a Weber or Coleman or whatever, and he would stick this electric thing underneath the coals, pour his coals on top, plug it in, and it would ignite. You know, it would light the fire, and then he'd yank that prick out, and then he'd have a great fire every time, and no taste of the lighter fluid. So, that was pretty cool. But I don't have the patience for that stuff.
Yeah,
So I could have the patience for that, because when I grill, it's an event, guys. I mean, it's a full on.
Yeah.
We ain't eating until the sun's way past down, and I don't ever eat when it comes off, because I'm well into having way too much fun.
Right.
It's always that way.
Gonna interrupt a song if you have to eat.
yeah. Hey, I'm out here listening, babe. So now they've gotten to the point where they get like dips and chips and shit, and they get that. And
put your snack meats on there. You put a couple hot dogs on there.
Well,
you put a
yeah.
Not a hot dog fan.
I'm not. You boil that in a fucking.
But a grilled hot dog's pretty damn good.
It
yeah,
is.
oh yeah.
It is. It's not
For the
bad.
purists
All
out there
beef.
that only do
All beef
briskets.
franks.
All beef.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
If
with
it's
you.
not
Yeah,
beef,
yeah.
don't bother. But yeah, definitely grilling. I mean, yeah, my dad boiled hot dogs when I was growing up, and to me that was what a hot dog was, a boiled hot dog.
yep,
And then you
boiled
throw it
hot
on the
dog.
grill, and it's like, holy
Game
shit,
changer.
this is totally different. Yeah. But yeah, we grew up the same way. It was lighter fluid. I mean, if you could, you used matchlight charcoals plus lighter fluid and make that fucker burn right away. I didn't know any different. I thought that's how you lit charcoal.
Yeah.
But now we're all about the chimney, no lighter fluid. What I have started doing, though, just recently is instead of putting like newspaper or whatever under the chimney to kind of get it going, have you ever seen those starter cubes? It's a little kind of white. It's sort of a
Napalm?
waxy. Yeah, basically, it's this waxy thing. It's about an inch by inch cube.
Yeah.
And you set it under the chimney and light it, and it works
But that's a chemical,
amazingly.
too.
It is a chemical. I feel like we might be getting cancer. Right. But,
There's a chance.
It's what you
Welcome
deal
to
with.
the club.
Because otherwise you got these, flamed newspaper clippings floating around your
getting
deck
stuck
and
to
about
your
to light
bratwurst
your
and-
house
yeah.
on fire and shit.
No,
So
I hear you.
I'm a big fan of these starter cubes. You guys should look into them. They're pretty cheap.
I am.
I think I'm going the chimney route with just, and newspaper or whatever
I
it
am
is.
too.
I think that's the way I'm heading. But as of today, I use lighter fluid, and
too.
Right.
and I will next time.
No, the chimney's the way to go. You let them get cherry red hot, and white hot, and then they're ready to go. You dump them in. And
My only problem is I'm going to need a big ass chimney, because I'll throw it in. And when I cook meat, it's like ridiculous. It's like,
Meat fest.
fucking half a slab and 18 brats and 14
So you
burgers.
said it's an
ridiculous.
event, right? And
It's an event
and I
every
agree.
time.
When I grew up, it was kind of that way. We really only grilled on a Saturday or whatever, and it was
Yeah.
kind of an all day thing. But now we kind of grill throughout the week, and it takes 20, 30 minutes. We'll throw, some brats on or burgers or whatever. If it's a special night, we'll put some steaks on. But still, with the chimney and the high heat, we're done grilling in half an hour.
Wow.
And put the lid on, wrap it up, and we're done. And that's dinner, So it's definitely not the event that it used to be. Now, we still do. We'll have family over and have some pork steaks and whatever and make it take a couple hours. But
Right.
So, yeah, that's a change,
pork
though.
steak-
Like, it didn't used to be that way, but now
Pork
it
steak
is.
doesn't take long to cook, but you want to simmer those
Right.
pricks for about
you gotta slow
6 or
cook
7
them.
hours and
Yeah.
make them fall off the bone. And
Now-
for those people that aren't from St. Louis that
Yeah.
might be listening to this, pork
Pork
steaks
steaks are the
a
shit.
delicacy. And
It's
St.
amazing.
Louis.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that's
It's
just
definitely
not
a-
a thing anywhere else.
And
Yeah.
you know what's crazy about it is that means there are butchers out there that cut pork. They cut their hams differently.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They cut their hams differently than they do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean,
So-
it's definitely a regional thing.
You guys are both charcoal guys. Have you done for any amount of time the gas grill? Have you had
Well,
that?
I'll let you take this one, Ryan.
Yeah, no, I went through like 4 different gas grills, and they were not I mean, I just always thought that's the way it is. My dad, after I don't know what year he got his first gas grill, and I was like, oh yeah, and that's the way you do it. And I just thought that was the right way to go.
Yeah.
So I had probably at least three or four, maybe 5 different gas grills, and they just kept taking a crap, and they would last 2 years, and they were junk. And then my neighbor, this guy named Joe,
old fat guy.
but I'll tell you what happened. This is honest to God truth. What happened? I think I ran out of gas, or something was going wrong with my gas grill, and we had meat to cook. And Joe had grilled, and I yelled over. I'm like, "Hey man, I got all these bratwursts and shit," and he's like, "Bring it over. I still got fire." So I came over and grilled all this shit up. Brought it back over to my house.
Mama came over.
So she came over, and we grilled all this stuff up. Brought it back home, we ate, and everybody was like, we'll never cook with gas again. And it was not long after that we got rid of the last gas grill that I had and bought the charcoal grill that I have now, which I've had for I don't know how many years. And it's awesome, and it's low maintenance. It works. It's perfect. It's great. It doesn't. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Like people go to Home Depot or they go to Lowe's and they see these shiny Cadillac gas grills, and it's like, no, just run away from that. All you need.
You don't need it.
No, you need an outside fire.
I will say though. So like I said, we grew up doing charcoal, which I kind of feel like everybody was back in back in the day. But this was before
I have
the
a story
chimneys.
about that, but go on.
Yeah. So before we had the chimneys, it was you try to get your charcoal lit, and you're putting some lighter fluid on it, but maybe you ran out or you didn't use enough, and it was maybe a multiple attempt effort to get your charcoal lit enough to be hot enough to do what you're trying to do, and it was enough of a pain that grilling was kind of a pain in the ass, and you didn't want to do it, and it was like, you mean I can walk out and hit a button and all of a sudden I got fire?
Yeah, you've made fire.
And it takes 5 minutes to heat up the grill and like, oh, this is amazing. So for years, probably 10 or 15 years, I was a big proponent of gas grills. And we went, but like you said, we went through 2 or 3 of them because they don't last.
No.
If they're out in the weather at all, they're just going to rust apart. But it's convenient as hell.
It is convenient.
And for the $30 or whatever that you pay to get a tank.
Where I grew up, all the houses had these natural gas barbecue pits.
Oh yeah, my grandma had one too. Yeah,
every house, all my friends. I'm thinking I'm a little
they were
kid.
hardwired in, right? They were in the ground,
it was
straight
in the
to
ground.
the gas line.
It was in the ground. It was off your. It was an option when the houses were built, but in the neighborhood I lived in, almost we didn't.
Actually, I think it was the gas company came out and they would try to sell you these pits.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they're like, hey, we service you, we do this, hey, we'll give you this deal on this barbecue grill.
Yeah.
And they would just tap into the gas line coming into the house
because they want you to. They're selling you gas.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And so all these grills were I only had one friend that truly was still gas with all that. Everybody else, they turned them into charcoal grills and they just they were decent little grills.
Right, they were cast iron and shit.
And
they were
then
heavy
you
duty.
just turn them into charcoal grills. But they'd mount them real nice and they were really nice on your patio. And I had one buddy of mine who still was a natural gas grill.
Really?
It was awesome. And so I buy into that, and that was my first really venture into gas grills was his, and I was like, fuck, this is
I'll tell you what, man, some of the best ribs I ever ate were my uncle's ribs from that same gas grill, Leclerc gas installed, and so people that say like, oh, you never had this until you've had it, it has to be smoked for 14 hours with cherry wood and all this shit, and I'm sure those are delicious and I want to eat them, but I'll tell you, my uncle could make some pretty damn good ribs on a gas grill.
I don't necessarily, I don't buy into the whole, you can taste the gas and all that.
No, you can't.
I don't think
you
so.
You can taste the lighter fluid.
I agree. Though. Yeah, you can taste the lighter fluid, but I don't think you can tell the gas. Now, maybe you can tell that there's not charcoal.
There's one grill I know of that you could probably have tasted gas. Our buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy lives on our street.
My other neighbor
has burnt up enough gas grills to start his own scrap company.
Oh, jeez.
No, man, that doesn't just, it's something to behold. He is inferno.
Yeah, engulfing the entire home.
Yeah, there was one
Couldn't even see him.
He was making chicken wings. He was making chicken wings.
God
and
love
we,
you.
We were over there and we're sitting on his patio and just hanging out and having a grand old time.
It was you and him, and Andy and I, my brother, were back at my house.
Yeah, so 2 house away,
Yeah.
you know, and and I'm like, man, there's a lot of black smoke coming out of your grill, and he's like, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I was like, no, man, I think that's that might be out of hand, you know, and so we open the lid of this thing, and there's wings on there, and it was an inferno that came out of this thing. And I'm like, this is bad. Oh no, we'll get it. I'll get it under control. And he's spraying water on it and trying. And I'm like, it's not going down, brother. It's not happening. And it's a grease fire is what it was, because he does a hell of a job with chicken wings. He makes a damn fine chicken wing.
Yeah, it smells so good.
Yeah,
but he's a charcoal man now.
Yeah, oh yeah, now he's a charcoal guy. But it's all about butter and like multiple douses of butter and hot sauce, and it's a damn fine wing when it doesn't burn the neighborhood down.
Making me hungry now.
And
Yeah, me too.
so it was a grease fire, and he's throwing water on it and making the fire worse. And finally, I was like, dude, you got to go get a fire extinguisher. You got a fire extinguisher? And he's like, yeah, I got one.
I'm gonna lose these wings.
I was like, we need to get this under control. And finally, he ran off and got the fire extinguisher, and we put it out, and that was the end of that barbecue grill. But I think that happened to like 3 different grills.
Oh, that poor bastard lost so many grills. And what's funny is the whole time, and we talked about this off here, the whole time he had all these grills. When I moved in, I bought my first grill for that house, and I had it for 13 years. I bought it for $68, and it was just a charcoal grill.
Walmart special.
A Walmart special. And it worked. And now I got rid of it only because I got my father's grill, which is another charcoal grill, and it was my dad. So of course, and he's like,
It's like a barrel grill, right?
It's a barrel grill, and which he actually made our barrel grill when we were kids. We ate out of some
oil drum.
Yeah, oil
God,
drum.
No, just speaking of getting cancer from your barbecue.
It's toxic waste and needles were in there. So
I found this barrel at Times Beach. I don't know. It looks like it'll work. I'll cut the lid out of it.
I ain't paying anymore. But so he had this grill, and he was going to throw it away. And I said, no. And he goes, well, I'll paint it up and everything. I said, no, I like the patina. I like the rust. I like that old grill look, and that's how I am. And I'll probably have that thing until it rots out.
Right.
And that thing can go anywhere for 20 years.
Yeah, and it probably won't. I mean, they're made a little bit better, and because you don't have all the inner workings of a gas grill, you don't have to worry about it so much, so not as much maintenance involved.
Yeah, a buddy of mine in college bought a Weber grill, your classic Weber kettle grill, in 97, and he just got rid of it last summer. So 20 years, right? 20 years for a kettle grill.
Good for him. And I bet he cooks some of the best meat.
Oh, man, he grills all the time.
This episode sponsored by Weber Grills.
Yeah.
We wish.
That's right.
Yeah, no shit.
But, so what's your go-to meat? If it's a big event, what's on let's say a weekend in the summer, what are you going to grill up?
No, I'm pork steaks.
Yeah?
Okay,
yeah. If I'm feeding the masses, it's pork steaks and brats.
If I'm feeding the masses, it's fucking frozen burgers and brats.
Yeah. What do we call masses here?
If I'm having meat fest, I'll do some burgers. I will do some brats. I'll do some kebabs of some sort.
Nah, fuck kebabs. I hate
kebabs. I love them.
Work. You gotta get it off the skewer. It's like I just want to dig it.
So, and then my bride will always have some veggies to do. We'll throw veggies on there. I love and see, it's so good because I eat off the grill. They don't get that. So all day long, I'm eating anyhow. So I'm pulling. I'll take a burger off there and pull half off to make sure it's cooked. But I'm eating it. Same with the brats. Same with and so I'm getting it while I'm doing it. Same with the veggies. You throw the veggies on. You grab a mushroom or something or a zucchini or anything. Oh, it's so good. It's so. Ooh.
See, if I'm cooking for a bunch of little kids or something, not little kids, but like let's say we had a birthday party or something like that. You got parents and kids. It's hot dogs and hamburgers. But if it's my family coming over, it's my mom and dad and my sister and her family and maybe an uncle or something like that. Then it's pork steaks every time. It's pork steaks and brats.
That's our go-to generally if my family's coming over or whatever. Yeah, pork steaks and brats.
Yeah.
And
see, I don't like all the dishes.
Now, do you?
Because I have to clean them. I don't want to clean them all.
Do you guys barbecue? Do you sauce them on the grill, or do you take it off and then sauce it on a plate or whatever?
Sometimes I do. I don't like sauce. I mean, I like sauce on certain things, but I love the flavor of pork.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, thank you, dear Lord,
Man, I'm starving.
for
So
giving
I
us.
I have
pork.
branched out a little bit, and I watch too much TV. I watch too many cooking shows, but so I've tried to keep my pork steaks dry, and I'll rub them with a good seasoning. So here's a shout out to a guy I used to work with that started a spice and seasoning and barbecue sauce company, Code 3 Spices. They're
Code 3.
Yeah, they're from the Midwest here, from the St. Louis area, and I think a portion of everything that they sell goes to first responders, goes to like
good.
backstoppers
Nice.
and stuff. And
I
they're
like that.
it's a cool deal, and they're doing
So
really.
you guys should order from them guys. Code 3.
well, check out Code 3. Shout out Bonemeyer. Anyway,
Bonemeyer.
yeah, we call him Boner. I don't know if anybody calls him that anymore.
Oh well, we did.
But yeah, no. So I watched too many shows, and then I started buying a bunch of different rubs and seasonings and stuff like that, and so I started cooking pork steaks dry, without putting
right,
sauce
yep.
on them. And it's amazing how, if it's cooked right, it's pretty good. But I also do enjoy letting them simmer in a good sauce and letting that shit just fall off the bone. It's damn fine stuff. So
You gonna eat your fat? Spalding.
What we've started doing with pork steaks is grilling them for a relatively short amount of time, basically searing them and then throwing them in a crock pot for however many hours it takes to get them falling off the bone, and that's a good way to go. We always slow cooked them on the grill,
right,
but kind of searing them first, cooking them, and then slow cooking in a crock pot is pretty good. And then you throw the sauce in there, and then they slow cook in the sauce. So.
Similar. I don't want to fuck up ribs. And everybody is, I do ribs great. Yeah, I'm sure you do. And I don't. But I can make good ribs with that kind of help. So what I'll do is, my bride's got this thing from Pampered Chef, which Pampered Chef is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially for the
Are they
grill
still
and
around?
stuff.
I mean, they kind of fizzled out or whatever.
No. I just ordered some stuff from them. They're awesome. And she'll put all these ribs in this thing, and you can microwave these ribs for about 20 minutes.
Oh, you just made a bunch of purist
Microwave,
puke.
What?
No. Hey,
Microwaving your ribs?
You're not listening.
No, I'm. You got my attention.
So it's just like
You can You can get a McRib from McDonald's too if you want.
No, it's just really.
Not right now. You can't.
I'm actually a big fan of the McRib.
So it's kind of like how they used to boil ribs to get them tender. Now all it is getting them tender. You get them tender, and then she bring them to me in this crock pot thing or whatever, and then I put them on the grill and let them go for about an hour, and then so you can have ribs the same day, basically.
Right.
That slow roasted thing. And I'll baste them, and I'll get them, and I'll sear them then, and then I'll pull them off, and then we'll put them in a pan in the oven at like 170 till I'm ready to eat.
Right.
And they are fall off the bone. All you got left is dinosaur bone.
Right.
It's awesome.
Well, I think that's why I talked about my uncle's ribs. Why they were so good. I think he would parboil them in beer. So he'd put all in a big pot, and he'd pour a couple beers in there, and he'd just boil them basically, and it just tenderizes the meat or whatever, and then throw them on the grill. And he would use Malls, which I think Malls went out of business recently. But not a great barbecue sauce. But for whatever reason, it was good. And he would always.
We always
it.
had Malls growing up. That was our go-to.
But how many times did you really just use straight Malls? You always had to do something else to it. You always added a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Not even ketchup. Man, we'd add some red pepper and add some, just spice it up. But no, I Code 3 again, man. Their barbecue sauce is the shit, and it puts a nice glaze on things. And so I do wings and ribs with that shit on there. And
there's another one.
It's hard to fuck it up.
Okay, this weekend we're gonna do some barbecue with some Code 3.
I will say this:
let's do it.
In Code 3, I've never had it, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
There's another one that's here locally for us. Is Hogs and Heat. And
I hope I got the fucking name right. Code 3.
Yeah. Hogs and Heat, and it is unbelievable. They're out of Breeze, Illinois, and they are unbelievable. It is so, and they do a hot wing sauce too that is, you'd kill a drifter for it. I'm not lying. So
if you're gonna cook a steak, let's say a good cut of meat, a T-bone, a porterhouse, whatever. Not the $5 on sale steaks from Schnucks or whatever, but a good steak.
Something that the jockey doesn't have marks on it.
What's your method of cooking up your steak?
Well, then we're going off the rails here because I would actually prefer it not grilled.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
It dries it out.
Like a skillet or something?
No, do it in a
broil.
well. You can do it in a skillet, but
Or
broil
it. Yeah, I would broil it too.
My wife makes a hell of a steak in the broiler.
Yeah,
and it's just
mine too.
It's butter and garlic and
Okay.
and then she puts a little blue cheese on it. Sometimes she'll slice it open and stuff the blue cheese in there.
Ooh, wow.
And
Wow.
It's fucking awesome, man.
So
But
I
I mean, I have grilled a steak. I like a big,
I have too.
steak
Yeah.
on the grill, and that's good. Usually when I'm camping, I'll get a big steak and a baked potato, and that's
Saturday night after floating.
Yeah.
That's
That's the way to go.
See, I'm always in those situations, and with the so if I get off the river all day, I still just want a burger and maybe a baked potato you throw on the
Easy.
fire, something easy,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to end up eating that next to a toilet anyhow. But to answer your question with the steak, I am, and maybe I'll be letting too much of myself out there. I don't feel as if I need to be eating steak. I don't feel good enough of myself that I
You don't
should
feel
eat.
like you deserve steak.
I don't need to be eating that kind of
Really?
meat. That's
so it's
not
like
a
a
that's
self-image issue you got going on?
Well,
What do you deserve?
I love pork
Yeah.
and a meat, yeah. But
So
like,
if you felt better about yourself, you would deserve a steak.
maybe so much. I mean, I love myself. Don't get me
Interesting.
wrong, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm weird. I'm fucking weird, man.
Hey,
But-
I don't go to the bathroom at work, so.
Yeah. But I don't. It's not that I don't feel good about myself. It's just that at the end of the day, I just can't bring myself to spend $14.99.
Well, it's
Right.
for a
definitely
pound of
it's
meat.
not something we do all the time. It's like a
I just
special event
can't
kind
do
of
it,
thing.
and
Yeah.
I'll just look at it and be like,
I'll tell you what.
no, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it.
I haven't worked hard enough.
Here's how I justify it a little bit more. So we used to always, there's 4 of us in our family. We would always buy, when we're buying steaks, we'd buy 4 steaks.
Sure.
And it got to be where my daughter wasn't a big fan, and
Yeah.
she doesn't always enjoy a steak. She might even turn it down when we
Yeah.
grilled one. And
I
then,
bet she'd rather have a chicken breast. I bet.
yeah, she'd rather just be in her room on her phone. But and then my
And
wife,
that's a whole nother episode.
my wife kind of got to where she didn't enjoy a steak. Now I always said, well, it's because you're buying cheap ass steaks and they're not very good. But she just got to where, well, I'd rather have or what something
Yeah.
else. So we were always buying 4
how I
steaks,
feel.
and only 2 of us were really wanting to eat
Right.
them. So I said, fuck you guys. We're going to buy 2 steaks for twice as much, and I'm going
Yeah.
to get a better quality cut of
Right,
meat.
right.
And so that's what we do. So now my son and I,
Good
we're the
for
only
you
ones that
guys.
eat steak. And when we do it, we get a little bit better cut of meat.
Sure.
And we
And you
actually
give them a
enjoy it.
portobello mushroom to gnaw on,
Right.
And so that's that's exactly where I'm at. I can't bring myself to
Yeah.
spend that kind of money when I know I'm going to be just as content with a cheeseburger that I love it. I start the fire.
A good cheeseburger.
Yeah,
is so
so
good.
I'll go in there. I'll start the fire. I'll come back in the house. I'll start cutting up tomato. I'll start cutting up onion. It's a whole thing. I almost feel like I'm Italian when I'm doing it. I'm like, I got fucking paparotti going in the background and everything. I feel
Cannolis.
good. Yeah, I feel real good. I'm looking at my the buns for the burgers and everything, and I always buy the good stuff.
Well, the bun is an important factor. in
It
a
is,
burger,
it is. But I don't like a big bun
No, you
if
can
I'm
have
not
too much
making a
bun.
big. Yeah, so I always get the right size
or mix a
bun.
lot or whatever.
Yeah, but I always buy the brat buns for my brats because I like to put coleslaw with my. And if you haven't done this, you guys should try it. A good mayonnaise coleslaw with your brats.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious!
So this will
great
be
balls of
Joe's
fire.
last episode with us.
I don't know, man. I'm
coleslaw
kind of
on a
a
brat?
purist
No.
when it comes to my
No.
brats.
Oh, my
It's,
God,
mustard
yeah.
is all I got.
Oh, now I'm all about the mustard. I do the mustard
Maybe some
too.
barbecue, maybe some mustard. But no
Oh.
coleslaw is going near my
Coleslaw is
bratwurst.
awesome. Oh, try it.
Well, I gotta say, so I'll give credit to my great uncle Doug, and my dad, who kind of confirmed it later on. The way they cook a steak is high heat, as hot as you can go,
Yep. Sear it.
for very short amount of time,
Yep.
maybe 2 minutes.
That's how you get
throw
the still
a,
pink in the
about
middle,
a quarter
though.
stick of butter on there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need any special seasoning. You don't need anything fancy. You might do some salt and pepper, but cook it hot for a short amount of time. It's still going to be pink and bloody in the middle when you pull it off there, and that's it. It's ready to go. And you better have your plate and fork and knife ready to go when you throw that thing on the grill. And,
Because it might walk off.
right. And oh my God, it's just so good to do it that way. And honestly, growing up, we didn't do it that way. And and like I said, I credited my dad, but it's not how we had it growing up. We had the kind of make sure it's cooked kind of thing, and it was gray all the way through and dried out.
Yeah, pork steaks. Our pork steaks were straight burnt, cooked. Dad was passed out
basically
in the backyard.
Jerky.
Yeah, you need to have some blood flowing out of that steak, and it will be so delicious.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't
and
like
juicy.
that. I'm not a fan of that. Now I like a little bit.
Man.
I like a little bit, and so when I grill at the house, I'm with you on that. I like a little pink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the fucking the boss and the little one that looks just like her. I can't no pink.
Oh yeah, they won't go near it,
and they will reject all the food, and you will eat all of this now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, it's gonna take some days. Do it now. Yeah, it's punishment. So I have to make sure everything's. Yeah. So I have to cut everything and look at it, fold it over, and
my son and I are like, we don't even bother checking because it doesn't really matter if it's any pink or bloody. Even we're like, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
But yeah, my wife and daughter, they're like, if it ain't gray, they ain't eating it.
Yeah. So. But see, it ruins it. To me, it ruins it. You don't get the same taste. I've actually gotten them to the point where I started pulling the meat off a little bit earlier than I would. Yeah. And the last 2 times I grilled, well, she told me, she goes, the last time you grilled was the best time you grilled ever. And if you would have seen what I pulled off, you'd have lost your shit. You would have been like, hell no, I ain't ready to go.
Yep.
I don't know.
So has anybody here done the pellet grilling? Like a Traeger or whatever?
No, I don't have a pellet griller. Pellet smoker.
Right.
But I do have a Bradley smoker.
Okay.
Yes.
And I got that about a year ago. I guess it was last Christmas, and game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like my brother-in-law. He's been through 2 or 3 smokers, and he does a hell of a job. And he's done gas, he's done electric, and I think he did a charcoal or wood-fired smoker. He's done it all. And I've learned from his. He's like, just make it simple. Go electric, and the Bradley smoker doesn't use a pellet, but uses a puck. Okay. And it's compressed wood, and you can get all kinds of varieties. You can get Jack Daniels flavored wood. You can get cherry and alder.
Break a bottle over the top.
But it's easy, man. You set the temperature. You put your meat in there. You put a stack of pucks in there, and it just keeps going. You don't even touch it. And I got the remote thermometer thing, and I sit on my couch, and I wait for that thing to beep at me and tell me my ribs are done.
It's like a fucking drive-through.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the hardest part is seasoning the meat and getting it ready and trimmed and primed and ready to put on the grill, and then you pretty much just walk away.
See, now how can that be an event though? Because when the meat comes out, it's awesome, and it takes a while to do it, right? I got to have the event, man.
Well, I'm also
all about the event.
I'm not built for smoker. I do enjoy the set it and forget it, but I'm also an impatient and I end up opening the damn door too much, and I check on things too frequently. You're not supposed to.
Right? No.
But
that's why I have the remote thing that you don't have to open the door. But I feel I got to look at it.
We're wired that way, though. I was always wired that way. Again, I always grilled off beers. You drink a beer, check your meat. Drink a beer, check your meat. Flip it.
I'll tell you the best thing I made on that smoker, though. I made a meatloaf with a bacon weave wrapping. It was friggin' phenomenal, man. It was the best thing.
Well, you couldn't fuck that up.
No, I mean, it was just my mom's meatloaf recipe, and then I made a bacon weave, and I wrapped it all up in this
cheese.
No cheese.
What?
No cheese.
Oh my god.
And and then I think I glazed it with Code 3 again. I glazed it with Code 3 sauce, and and it was friggin' glorious. I'm
gonna dream about that same meatloaf right now, but with cheese.
What are you stuffing it with cheese? What
Hell
are you doing?
Yeah, you fucking layer it down with all kinds of cheese.
No, you don't need
throw
that,
it
man. Don't need that.
You always need cheese. That's how you bind up. That's how you don't shit all day at work, man. That's how you do it.
That's the secret to Jared's bathroom success. Is
I absolutely love cheese and meat. Meat and cheese.
Well, I don't disagree. That's good. But when it comes to meatloaf, man, I don't know. It's pretty much.
How about ketchup on it? You like ketchup on meatloaf?
My mom makes ketchup makes meatloaf. She'll put ketchup on top of it, or maybe it's tomato sauce. But it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I could do
My
ketchup.
mom made meatloaf. We're way getting off this. My mom made meatloaf one time, and she, you use a bread filler.
Yeah. Breadcrumbs or something.
She used vanilla wafers.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm telling you what, it was so delicious. We're all eating it like it was the last meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us all being around the table, and she goes, "What do you think it is? What do you think it is?" And we're like, "I don't fucking know what it is, but I'll tell you what, you should have killed 6 cows to do it." And she told us, and I was like, I'll never forget that. I was like, vanilla wafers, and she, I'll tell you what, guys, try it out.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Try it out there in internet land.
My goal this spring or maybe early summer, over the winter, I found a couple methods of smoking on a kettle grill.
Yeah. It definitely can be done.
The snake method, and there's some different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But I got a digital thermometer, and I've experimented a couple times with the snake method. So my goal is to do a brisket with like a 10, 12 hour, 13 hour, whatever it's going to take on the kettle grill. So I'm going to make sure that works, and then I will definitely have you guys over to
totally with you on that.
Enjoy that.
And so now my mindset is on that. So you get out there early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Saturday morning. It's like 5 a.m. or something, and you're doing all that shit. You're getting it all ready. You're hungover from the night before because you were so excited to get it all ready. And then you go back and you lay down for a while till the sun comes up, and you're not going to piss off the neighbors. And then it's cutting grass, getting everything done. You wash your cars. You get it. You got to keep yourself busy.
All the
while.
Meat heaven is coming at you.
Then and you jump in the pool. You run. You just make a day. Oh God, where is the sun? I can't wait for those days. I love them. I live for them. I absolutely live for those days.
They're right around the corner.
That would be event grilling.
That's
taking all day long.
Yeah.
And then that evening.
But really, like you said, you start early. And whoever you're having over probably ain't even going to be there for another 8 or 10 hours.
Oh, hell no. You're doing all
by the time they get there,
the
you're half drunk. And,
you fall down. You fall down. You're wearing the American flag like you're Apollo Creed.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Where are your pants, Joe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on in. Let's have a seat.
Gone for 3 hours.
Did you bring everybody bring your own fork? That was in the RSVP.
Chair and a fork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out. This spring. So
I'm excited about that too. Now, brisket is very temperamental, though, from what I've gathered.
It's also fucking delicious.
If you do it
and
right.
expensive because
it's not cheap, and you can dry it out.
Fuck it up, you'll really be pissed at yourself.
That's what I'm saying. So you're definitely going in uncharted territory.
Yeah. So that's something I've never done. I haven't done a brisket at all.
But if I know Jared, he will prepare.
I will research the shit out of it.
Yeah. It's going to be the best damn brisket anybody's ever eaten.
I don't know.
I do love brisket.
I feel pretty good about
I'm with
it.
you, man.
Yeah.
A nice, good glaze on the top, and
I see a brisket should be pretty much. I think it's a dry rub and just
I'm gonna go Texas style with the salt and pepper. That's pretty much it. I'm not gonna get fancy with the rub.
I want the fat.
Well, yeah,
brisket fat. You ain't your fat, Spalding.
So I hope we have tempted all of you. Got your taste buds.
Made me damn hungry.
Yeah, I know. I'm starving. So I think we're all kind of on the same page with grilling, but to each their own. Gas grilling is fine.
Is that we are amateurs.
Definitely.
Definitely.
We are willing to learn.
Sure.
And if y'all want to send us stuff, tell us what's going on. We're
give us some tips.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
We I love. Yeah, we definitely love the summer. I love grilling and everything, but I know there's so much more out there. There's so many damn television shows that you can watch that basically tell you how wrong you're doing things.
But I want to keep it simple, guys. I ain't trying to catch a trout and bring it in the next hour and then.
Oh, grilled trout's good though. You ever had grilled trout?
Yeah, I have. Actually, I've had grilled trout. No, maybe it's bass. I don't remember on the wood plank and everything. Where you grill on the wood plank. Ooh, that is awesome.
Yeah. Trout. We'll talk about grilling trout here in the next episode.
I got a fishing story someday we'll talk about. I told these boys earlier.
Well, reach out to us with social media so you can get a load of us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. We throw all that out there. We'll probably put a poll out about grilling. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we welcome your feedback and your comments. So.
That's right. @LoadThisPodcast on all the social media. avenues. And
if you want to go old school, load this podcast at gmail.com.
there you go.
And I can tell you guys right now, I've gotten no Christmas presents. I don't think anything's come through. I don't even have like anything.
He could use a chimney for his grill, you know?
I could use anything. I told you bastards, I want a Christmas present. Sweden, I'm talking to you. LA.
Sweden. Two guys in Sweden that are like, oh,
whatever.
shit, Joe wants a present.
Yeah, I want some fucking
Send him a
clogs.
meatball.
Yeah, whatever. Send me a table I got to put together. Fucking kidding me? LA, send me some wires. I want some 100 spokes.
Well, until next time, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
Hey, this is Joe.
And get a load of this.